Okay, in this picture you'll see FRI, and you'll notice that I'm realized quite a bit money lost. And this is because of typical human behavior. Now, the setup is pretty good. Before I got into this, I did my typical thing where I check the daily, the 15-minute, the 5-minute, and now this is what you see, the 1 minute, slightly covered by the SPY for me to determine the wind, as I generally do things. But the one thing that I didn't put into play was my stop. My stop was slightly over 12, but the spread on this was over 5 cents. And this is not typical for other brokers like Lightspeed. If you set a stop at 1201, it needs to hit 1201 in order for you to get stopped out. But with Tradenet, if you set a stop at 1201, if your bid or ask touches 1201, you may get stopped out. That's how I noticed. That's my assumption so far. So you see, it touched 1198, and that's basically where I shorted it when it hit a 1 or 2 minute trigger. But then I got stopped out when human behavior kicked in, and people thought 98 is not good enough. We need to hit 12. So then it hit 12. So then I had to get in the second time around, and that's where we're at right now, where it's kind of consolidating, and SPY's going up and down, the wind's going up and down, but FRI is still stuck, flatlined. Now this is actually a really good picture because it's going to create a typical nosedive that I see quite often nowadays. Okay, Vive here decided to punch down towards a support line, and you can see the amount of volume where traders couldn't decide if it should go or not. So this will be a trigger on ones. Basically, as it passes up the previous 1 minute candle, I would enter.
We can take S&P futures are pulling back here 24.1275.
Okay, so just stalling it a bit, and SPY's going down. Okay, GTT here has kind of a dirty movement. You can tell that it tried several times to move up, and you see quite a few spikes in volume. So kind of have an idea that it's going to go, just not exactly where, but I entered at that one spike. Alright, that's good, guys. We'll take that. Okay. Okay, ONEM wasn't the best setup. It was probably a B setup because it didn't touch 22 and it didn't have a daily resistance that I can rely on to ensure that it was going to counter at that point. So I just threw in 100 shares because of the amount of spread and thought I would add when I had a chance, but you could tell it's creating lower highs and it's going to move just like FRI. There we go. Watch for the spreads to close up. Okay,